Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, October 24th. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a great week. I think I've probably started this video no less than 10 times, so we're just going to get into it. Had a pretty good week here. This morning I did some laundry and put it out on the line because I do that now, and it immediately clouded up. I mean dark clouds, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And I guess I must have scared them because it went away and the sun came out, and I think my clothes will actually get dry. Be dry finally. It's kind of humid, so they're taking a while. They've been out there for several hours. It's like 5:30ish in the afternoon. Yesterday Dax and I went to the Renaissance Festival, and it's about a 3-hour drive. So we left early and got home late, but we had a great time. We, of course, my favorite part of doing this stuff is eating my way through the fair. And, but we did the Scotch tasting again, even though we did the Scotch tasting last year. But we also did a bourbon tasting and a rum tasting. The Scotch tasting was still my favorite, and it was the best value for your money. But really, that's what we did. We tasted alcohol, we ate a lot of food, and we watched people, and it was wonderful and relaxing. And we walked so much, my body was sore all over by the time I woke up this morning. But like I said, it was all good. I did stitch. I did some. It's only been a week, so it won't be impressive. I did work on Wyatt's stocking. It's a Dimensions Gold collection. I've only been working on this for like 20 years. But I have to say, y'all, I am just, every time I look at it, I am so happy with how it's coming along. Finally, the 25 stitches a day, and I don't know whose idea that was, but for me, it's brilliant, and it is working so wonderfully. This time I worked over here in the chimney, filling in bricks and some of the snow that's hanging over the side. There's more that goes in over here, but it's floss with blending filament also added in, and I didn't feel like getting that, so I moved over and did some different things, but I'll get back to it. But like I said, I'm just thrilled. I am thrilled. I did have last week, Cynthia commented, and it says, and said that at least with everything going on, I wasn't all frazzled. Bless your heart. Bless you for saying that, because you couldn't, it lets me know that you could not see my eyelid twitching. I was getting shingles. I was frazzled. But if it doesn't come through that way, that's perfect. I don't want it to seem like I'm frazzled. Even at work, I don't want clients to feel like we're put out or that they've done things wrong. So if I don't come across as frazzled, that's fantastic. And yes, I was getting shingles, but I called the doctor when I realized that the pain was not a crick in my neck. When I woke up that morning, I was like, oh, I slept wrong. And then as it moved down my shoulder, it was down my arm by the time we got to work. And I knew, because that's the same thing it did last time. So I called the doctor, and he called in a prescription, and I think that we caught it. I did have to deal with the pain for a couple of days, but it's not as bad as the pain once you get the breakout, and I haven't broken out. So I think we caught it in time, which I will be eternally grateful for. And I know there's a vaccine. Both my parents had horrible reactions to the vaccine, and my doctors advised me not to take it. So, but I know what they're like when they're starting. So hopefully, like I said, we've beat it. The pain is gone. It's all good. But Cynthia, thank you for saying that at least I wasn't frazzled. I worked on this. This is one from Sherry Smith. Sent me a box of goodies, and this is one of them out of there. It's at Design Works. I was looking to see if it actually has a name or not. It's just called Life. I call it A Wonderful Life, because sometimes I make up names for my patterns when I put them on my list, and I look to see if they actually have their own. This was a day that I slept in accidentally because I think twice this past week I turned off my alarm without realizing it, like without ever waking up. But I only put on the bottom of some of these letters and then started another one. I know, it's pretty impressive stuff. And then I worked on this one, Bushel in a Peck. I'm sorry for the glare. I bought these cool little lights, and I would show them to you, except for, I don't know. Kirsten and I went garage sailing on Friday. Look, aren't these pretty? They light up. It'll probably be blinding now. Not too bad. Aren't those pretty? Anyway, so I have them on because I was testing them to see if they even worked. And I thought, hey, even though it's starting to get dark already outside, at least I could have some light, right? Anyway, I worked on a bushel and a peck. And I think I finished off on the top of this little birdhouse and put in the hole. And then I came down and worked some more across here. I don't think we're going to get to, like, I did some impressive amount of work this week on anything, but it is what it is. I worked on, this one's from Frosted Pumpkin, Witch Better, and I still don't have a picture of what it's supposed to look like. I worked on this for 2 days. It came up, you know, because I spin the little wheel for my calendar, and what I'm going to stitch on, it came up twice. And there are 2 little trick-or-treat bags, baskets, whatever, goodie bags that go on here, and one goes right here. And I was going to put that in, and I started counting and realized there's not enough room. And I was like, what the heck? So I went up here, and I realized that my candied apple, there's a candy corn right here. I counted my apple off of that candy corn, and it was supposed to count off the bottom of that bat. So I pulled it out, and this is 1/1. It's like a, I don't know, maybe a 22 Harding or something like that. Anyway, that was a nightmare, and I realized that I counted the candy apple off of there and put that in, but then I counted better off of this and put it in. So if I ripped this out and put it up, then this had to be pulled out and moved up and over and on and on and on. So, being practical like I am, I was like, screw that. So I put the candy apple back in right where it was. It's actually supposed to be purple, but I wanted it red. And truth of the matter is, maybe it's supposed to be a lollipop, but mine's a candy apple and it's red. So, my little witch goes right here, and because everything's in the wrong place coming down, I don't know how things are going to fit. So, for now, we're just going with it. I counted this off of the border. It's going to be the word my. So I'm going to put that in. And I'll probably put in the word candy, and then I'll put in the witch, and then if there's room, I'll put in the trick-or-treat bags or other candies or whatever, but that will all come after I get the important stuff in. But I decided there was no way I was going to rip that out. So, quite frankly, I guess it doesn't really matter if I get the picture of what it's supposed to look like, because mine won't look like that at all. As a matter of fact, we have no idea what mine will look like at this point. It'll be a surprise for everyone. I worked on my patriotic bunny again. And this one, again, is a duplicate stitch. But if you've never seen them, the patterns are just like cross-stitch patterns. And I think this time I just got in, I finished her arms and started on her face. Yeah, I think there are 3 colors in those tiny little arms, and more than that in her face. And this is a hand done pattern. I have such trouble with it. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I just told you all the reasons why. That's why I have trouble with it. So, it takes me a long time. I feel like I get 0 stitches done while I'm working on it. And then the last thing that I stitched on, and this was, I worked on this yesterday on the way to the Renaissance Festival. My Lovacados, which kind of looks like it. This one, everything just fell. This one either has like a really bad haircut at this point. I don't know, maybe it's wearing a little helmet. I don't know, but I came down on this other side with, because there's like, these stitches are actually a different color than this. It's really hard to tell because they're 3 shades of green that are very close to each other. So I came down a little farther with that. It's only like mostly 2 stitches wide. And then I started filling in up here. I didn't get to stitch the whole way on the way there, the whole 3 hours or anything like that. It's still dark when we leave. So I didn't start stitching until well after that. I did. This is what I did remember, and I did find it. This is what McKenna had sent me. She is stitching in sequence on YouTube, and she is 1884stitchery.com, and she's got all kinds of patterns and kits and stuff like that. Go look at what she has to offer. But she sent that to me. That was, I said that there are these 4 pieces of art, and I already had this one, I believe. That's the one. Yeah, Autumn at Sinking Creek. There are patterns based on 4 pieces, and I have this one, and this is another one from that group of artwork, and there are a couple more, I think. I think there are 4 total that are based on like barns and stuff, or old houses. But McKenna's already looking out for me, already found it and sent it to me. I haven't even started looking myself for the things that I want, because that's the way I am. But thank you, McKenna, again. She takes better care of me than I take of myself. What more could you ask for? And she sent me this little card because I'm thinking maybe I don't want people at my house and that makes me a prick. I don't know. Whatever. I'm okay with it. I have this. We have tons of this in our yard. We had 2 great big cactus beds. One of them died out completely. We dug it up and we'll actually set fire to the area, probably, because who wants needles if you're out walking in the yard? The other one's in the front yard. It's only about half the size that it was because it got these, they look like little stink bugs, but they attack the cactus and they're hard as get out to get rid of. I mean, it's nuts. So about half of that one died, and the rest of the cactus are really struggling this year. They hardly bloomed at all, but they are trying to stay alive, and I'm encouraging it with all I've got. Speaking of plants and staying alive, an update on the mystery squash plant that was growing in the flower pot out front. It bloomed like crazy and bloomed and never even thought about making a single thing. I'm thinking that maybe, because I saw the bees on it and dragonflies, so it shouldn't have had any trouble getting pollinated, except I'm wondering if these plants are male and female and I need to have another one, which would be awesome if I had any idea what it was. But it's died off for the fall now. We're going to go with that. That's our story. It's died off for the fall. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to a new Flosstuber. It's Only Stitching. Y'all should go check her out. She's brand new to YouTube. I'm just kidding. It's Shelly from Shelly Key X Stitch. Her channel got disappeared from YouTube, and so she started over again. So if y'all don't know that or you weren't aware, go over there and subscribe to her now. It's Only Stitching. What else? Y'all won't believe this. I still can't believe this. Actually, you'll be like, yes, of course, it's you, Taryn. Why can't you believe it? So yesterday at the Renaissance Festival, we're in a place that does soaps and lotions and oils and stuff. And Dax has decided that he really likes the handmade soaps better than the other stuff. I think he likes the variety of fragrances. I had started a subscription for him to it's called Outlaw Soap Companies, and Outlaw Soap Company, something like that. It's Outlaw Soaps. Because they have ones that, have the scent of leather and campfires, and they're really different. They're ones that really I haven't seen anywhere else, but they smell great. But he wanted something different too. And so I bought things, but when we're someplace like that and they have a booth, I'll go buy a few bars of soap. And I was up paying for the soap, and I pulled my money out, and when I did, something dropped on the floor, and I actually thought it was my driver's license. And so I gave the cashier the money, and I look on the floor, and there is nothing around. And I said to her, didn't I drop something? And she's like, yeah. And so I'm like, where did it go? Am I missing it? Because there's nothing on the floor. And she's looking, and another guy that works there comes, and they look, and it's a debit card, but it's one for our healthcare stuff, and it's only for healthcare expenses and whatever. You can only use it for medical stuff. Anyway, it fell, hit the floor, bounced, and went down between two slats of wood under the floor. Seriously, people, what are the chances of that happening? And then they were like trying to figure out how to pull the floor up, and they were wonderful. Even one of the guys said, well, leave your name and address on, just give her some receipt paper and let her put her name and address on, and we'll pull the floor up during the week and send it to you. And I'm like, no, you don't need to pull the floor up. It's not worth all of that. And they're like, but it's a debit card. And I'm like, it's not that kind of debit card. If somebody wants to steal it, they can only, go to the doctor with it. And even then it has a limit. But, so now I got to order a new one. But seriously, I can go buy a lottery ticket. I don't get those kind of odds. What the heck? I certainly don't in Vegas. And Dax said, when I said, what are the chances? And he's like, yeah, there you go. You blew another long shot, because what were the chances we were going to have all those kids at once? And what are the chances this is going to happen? So I'm using them on the things that aren't making me rich. I'm just saying. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. Anything else? I can't think of anything, really. Like I said, Kirsten and I went shopping on Friday. We were gone most of the day. I'm really trying to be better about this stuff, but Dax encouraged it. Who am I to say no? I'm pretty sure that he encourages it because it gets us out of the office and he can be there by himself and work. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's really all. I hope y'all have a great week. I'll try to be back next week. I don't foresee anything going on, so fingers crossed. Thank you again, everyone, for liking and subscribing and commenting. I do truly appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks, y'all. Bye.